Hello and happy National Left-Handers Day. Alright, so this year for National Left-Handers Day I decided to make a couple YouTube videos, and in this particular video I'm going to talk about, in my opinion, like a very weird way of meeting another left-handed person that I've met. And so to get down to it, what happens is to start from the very beginning. A friend of mine, he and I were in school, we talked a lot, although we never really had a friendship outside of school while we were still in school. And so with that being said, when we would talk about things, I guess neither one of us mentioned our home lives, let alone our family members and all that were at our homes. So that was never really discussed for either of us. And then eventually it came time to where I moved away, and by the time I moved back, he had to drop out because of certain reasons. And so eventually it wasn't until a year or so after I graduated high school that I ended up meeting him again. And the way that happened, which is a weird occurrence in itself, is that a friend I was staying with had a childhood friend come over. I had to leave so they could have basically one-on-one time, because it's been a while since those two have hung out. So I decided to go to another friend's house, and he's deciding to go to a friend's house, but he's not mentioning who it is. So since I don't want to keep hopping back and forth, I decided to ask him if I could tag along. And he says he says I can, but he doesn't know if the friend's 100% legit with it, but he lets me tag along anyway. And so I tag along, and it ends up being my friend that I haven't seen in almost 4 years at that point. And so I'm now finding out where he is. I'm finding out that one of my friends is friends with him for a while, and then they're finding that, the friends find that out too between the two of us, and of course him on that side. And then that was also the same day I realized he had a sibling, let alone 2 or 3, but at least one of them was there at this time. And the whole, for a good portion of when we started getting there, I guess they were kind of scoping me, because this is the first time they've seen me. I don't really know what has happened in at their places before, but I guess it was enough to kind of where they didn't really trust me 100% yet. So even though I was getting on good terms with their brother, I think it was still not 100%, I don't really trust this person entirely yet. And I kept getting that sort of glare or look every now and then, but I could kind of understand it. So that was going on, and so we fast forward to where the friend that dropped me off there falls asleep at the house. So it's just me and the guy I haven't met in I haven't seen in 4 years. And so we're going back and forth, and he starts smoking from this device. And so he hands it to me, and this is a week or two after just coming off of a really bad spice addiction. So unfortunately, my brain was still recovering, but it wasn't 100% there yet. And so he's handing it to me after just him smoking, and the sibling didn't do anything smoking wise yet. So he hands it to me, and I'm asking him how to use it. And he's telling me, all right, well, you hold it in your left hand like this. And I'm thinking, well, I am left-handed, but I'm pretty sure it's crucial to what I need to do for me to use this. So I'm just going to roll with what he's telling me and just use it. So I hold it in my left hand the way he tells me to. And eventually I get the lighter, and I can't, for some reason my right thumb's not letting me ignite the lighter. This whole time I keep going back and forth between them, both the sibling and the friend, and what I'm doing. And it gets to the point that I feel I'm kind of taking way longer than I need to where after it doesn't keep igniting, I just kind of give up, hand it to him, and I'm I can't do it, man, I'm left-handed. And I remember putting my left hand up when I said that, to where the sibling was in view, and I'm expecting the outcome being that they just give up on me and they smoke, and that's just the end of the story, or that they smoke and they let me smoke and I just watch them how they do it, and then I learn to do it that way. Those are the two outcomes I think are going to happen. However, I didn't expect the sibling to come out of nowhere. Again, first day I've ever met this person, and then they just come out of nowhere and they're like, I'm left-handed. You want me to show you how to use it? And like, I say sure and all that, but I'm still catching myself, because at this point I'm like, okay, there has to be a catch here. There's no way, like, I'm in a predicament and life like made something like this incredibly easy for me to where I can just get out of this problem like that. Like, life never makes it that simple for me. There's got to be a catch here. And so I'm thinking, so I decided to ask them, well, do you smoke? And they stop and they kind of look at me and they're like, yeah. And I don't know what I said, but I was trying to say something along the lines of the fact that, like, out of everybody in my family, I'm the only one that smokes. And so far I've only seen my friends smoke, so I didn't want them to get out of their comfort zone showing me how to use something. If you know, like, I didn't want them, like, even though we were both left-handed, I didn't want them to show me something how to use it if it was something outside of their comfort zone. And again, I know I didn't say something like that, but I was trying to say something along the lines of that, to where at least I remember them responding with, you're good. Anyway, the end of the story is like, that after that conversation, they show me how to use it, and eventually, like, I use it and it works, and I don't know, it was fun. And then after that, like, the three of us, both the friend, the sibling, and me, then we're just hitting it off and having a good time. But I just find it funny how, like, up until then, like, that's what triggered the whole, like, getting to know one another thing. Like, out of all things, it was that. And, like, part of me just, I don't know, it's an interesting story. And the biggest part is, like, I feel like if, like, I was smart enough to, like, use the inverse hand when he was showing me the first time, like, that wouldn't have happened. But at the same time, would have that altered the way I would have, started becoming friends with his sibling for the first time? Like, I don't know. But anyway, that's my story that I have to say about, like, I guess the weirdest coincidence, if anything, but definitely the weirdest occurrence I've had of meeting another left-handed person. And anyway, that's, again, my story. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy my other videos, like the time I got my scissors, a pair of scissors stuck to my hand. And with that being said, happy National Left-Handers Day, and have a good one. Peace.